tonight we are working with frogs. As you saw from my video last night, we had some heavy rains here, so there's a huge abundance of frogs right now. So, dinner. What we've got here, we've got oyster sauce, fish sauce, soy sauce. We got some sugar, some salt, MSG of course, garlic, chilies. We're using cayenne today because, oops, limes, and white pepper. I'll show you why we've got that later. So we're gonna go ahead and make the marinade here. Alright, so I've started making the marinade here. So we've got 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of the soy sauce, and to start I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. I'm going to get these limes going. Now when you do limes, of course, you obviously know that you should roll them first because that's going to make them nice and juicy. Get those going. I'm going to start putting these chilies in here. I'm only going to put 2 since they are cayenne. They're already ridiculously spicy if you did not see my segment on that. Throw some garlic in there. I would normally do 3 or 4 cloves, but I've got really tiny ones here, so I'm going to do about 7 or 8. Get some of those going in there. Now always, if you're going to use a mortar, always throw salt in there with that. That's going to help it start breaking down quicker. And so let's get that going. Alright, that's good. We just want to get those juices going, get those skins broken and the juices flowing on those. So let's get those on our little frogs here. Of course, these limes. Yeah. Now, like fish, I feel like frog almost always needs a little lemon or lime, a little acidity in there. It is actually it tastes like a cross between chicken and fish, so it's already a very fishy kind of animal. So we're going to do that. I'm also going to do, again, I've talked about this before, I'm going to throw a little bit of MSG on there. I have seen absolutely nothing that tells me that I should not use MSG. So that is up to your discretion. I'm just going to put a little bit on there because I want to get that umami in there and get that fullness, that full flavor in here. So let's mix these up. You hear that? I've got tokay geckos in the background. I love Thailand. Get those nice and covered on there. I'm actually going to throw on a little bit more pepper here, or a little bit more salt. Okay, so one ingredient I did forget to mention is sugar. I went ahead and threw a little bit on there. I threw a tablespoon of sugar in there. So we're going to go ahead and finish this up here. I'm going to throw these on the grill. I'm going to get that grill nice and hot, and we will start cooking these frogs. Well, I've got the frogs on the grill. I'm going to start making this dip that we're going to use. If you see this is white pepper. Integral to this is actually a common Vietnamese thing. What we're going to be doing is, it's simple. It's white pepper, chilies, salt, and lemon. That's it. And what you do is you can use chicken, you can use it with fish. You just use it as a dip, as a side dip, just to dip your frog or whatever else, and it's fantastic. I would totally use this really for anything. Okay, the way I do this is not necessarily how they do it in Thailand. I'm going to throw about a half tablespoon of white pepper in there. 2 chilies is what I've got. I've got the quinoa, and we're just going to get those going. Alright, when you've got that nice and smashed down, you're going to throw the salt in there. Almost screw the sugar. Now you do want a good amount of salt. This is really just a salt base to put your meats in. So you're just going to mix that up a little bit, and you're good to go. And you're gonna put this in a small bowl. When you're ready, you're gonna throw some lime in there and you're done. What you'll notice right now is that we're working with wood coal instead of charcoal briquettes. It's very common in Asia. I prefer it as much as briquettes. They both have their own rights. What I really like about the wood coal is it burns harder and faster. So it's a more intense heat. So it does tend to char. You do need to be careful about that. It's not as low and slow as a briquette. But it is what they use normally in Asian cooking. In fact, I have not even seen briquettes out here in the entire time that I've been in this cooking world. So it is something to note. It's a big difference between here and the Western world. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the frogs on. Now, we are going to, again, since it is an intense heat, we are going to have to be flipping them a lot more. Those are big frogs. Now that we've cooked the frog, I'm going to go over a couple other things before we get to the main course. What we've got here is another frog dish that they make. It's frog with the skin on and liver and frog eggs, which is something I've never had before. So this is going to be a weird one for me. What they do is they take this frog and they cut it up. They cook it, of course, then they cut it up and then they mix it with fish sauce, soy sauce, ginger, garlic, and chilies. Toss it all together and they come up with this thing right here. I'm also going to go over balut. Now, they do have balut in Thailand. I am going to, at a later date, actually make an entire episode based on balut, so this is just the first touch of it. What they do normally in Thailand is they have it in the egg, but a lot of times they'll actually take it out of the egg for you and put it onto a skewer. They'll actually skewer it. We've already taken the skewer out of this one. So this looks like a 20-day-old, which I don't like. You'll find them, they actually go by days. 16, 17, 18 to 20 days. In the Philippines, they really prefer 18 to 20 days. I like them younger. I like them 16 days just because they're not as crunchy. Normally, they'll use duck. This looks like chicken. But they do normally use duck, at least in Vietnam and the Philippines. My first experience with balut was in the Philippines, and it was absolutely terrible. I'm not really sure whether that was the Long Nights of Red Horse beer or the actual balut. I did swear it off for a long time, but while I was living in Ho Chi Minh City, I saw a guy with a cart selling hop vịt lôm, which is their balut, and I decided to go ahead and try it again, and I fell in love. It was really tasty. Maybe it had to do with the age, maybe it had to do again with the extra imbibement, but I really kind of fell in love with it after that. I have only had it once in Thailand, and I don't remember how I felt about that. We do have this chili sauce that they use, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use that, and I'll let you know how it is. All right, I'm gonna dip it in this this chili sauce, and here goes nothing. So that was chicken for sure. It was younger than I thought it was. It was probably closer to 16 days because you can tell the bones haven't really gotten bony yet. They're still kind of soft. It's really good. It really tastes like a hard-boiled egg with chicken in it. So if you like hard-boiled eggs and you like chicken, perfect. This one was extra yolky, which at first kind of led me to think that it was duck, but I'm pretty sure that that was chicken. They do have a very distinctive difference. Duck is more meaty, I guess. It's more obvious darker meat. I mean, it tastes more darker meat. Duck in and of itself has more fat, so that might change the taste of the hot vitelom or balut, as it were. So it is tasty. My experience in Thailand is better than the Philippines. I will give it another chance in the Philippines when I get back there, hopefully sooner than later. I will, after having gone to Vietnam and Thailand, I will try it again in the Philippines and give it a fair option. I don't think Red Horse helped me give it the fair option last time. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this the frog over here. I'm gonna do something daring here. I'm gonna go for the liver. My mouth just started watering in a bad way when I said that. I do like liver. You guys saw me eat beef liver raw the other day. I love chicken liver. It's one of my favorite things. The thought of frog liver, for some reason, just, my body is already not accepting this. So we'll see how it goes. I don't want to. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Wow. That, for a split second there, I didn't think that was going to make that to the back of my throat. It's really salty. It's very creamy, like liver tends to be, but it does not taste like mammal or bird liver. It's got a more distinctive, I don't even know. Actually, you know what? It does taste kind of like foie gras. So, like goose liver. It doesn't have that fried chicken liver that you're used to. It has that creaminess. It's got the saltiness. It doesn't taste like liver though. That's really surprisingly good. So now that we've got the hot vitelom, the balut, and the diced up frog, let's go ahead and go to our creation here. Like I said, I'm going to use this salt and white pepper mixture that they use typically in Vietnam. It is one of my favorite things. It is absolutely delicious. I use this on everything. It's up there with something that I will cover at some point. I haven't done it on a video yet. One of my favorite dishes in the world, hands down, is from Vietnam, called Bún Đào Mem Tâm. This is up there with Mem Tâm. Mem Tâm is it's a fermented shrimp paste, and I love it. This is up there with that. Of course, I do use this on more dishes. So I'm gonna get this in there and get that mixed up, and then start on this frog that we cooked today. So you see, it's got a nice crust on it. This also has a lot to do with that oyster sauce that I used. That obviously does caramelize a lot. Look at that meat; it's just falling apart right there. I love frog meat. A lot of people don't want to try it. In fact, the first experience that I had with it was in San Antonio. I went to a restaurant with a friend of mine in northern San Antonio, and the first time I tried it, I couldn't handle it. It was too wet. It was like wet chicken. And then I gave it another chance and gave it another chance, and then I tried it in Vietnam, and I absolutely love it. The one I tried was a Singaporean style, so it was a lot sweeter, and I just love it. I love frog. So let's see how this turned out. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. It is definitely, it's definitely cooked well. I love grilled frog. Now, a lot of people will take the skin off. In fact, in America, I don't think I ever once had it with the skin on. When they make frog legs, they definitely take, every time I've had it, they take the skin off. I've never had it without the skin in Asia. And to me, the skin adds that extra little layer, that extra element of crispiness and crunch. And it's got that layer of fat underneath it. And it just, you need to keep the skin on the legs. Absolutely, you need to keep the skin on the frog itself. For, if nothing else, the crunch. And then this sauce, definitely, again, white pepper, salt, chilies, we use the plate caliang, and what did I say, white pepper, salt, chilies, and lemon or lime. Actually, in Vietnam, they use I never remember the name of it. It's a cross between mandarin oranges and kumquats. Regardless, you can use any citrus. Check this out. It can be used across the board on anything. Pork, chicken, frog, obviously. Anything you want, you use this on. Absolutely wonderful. Well, there you have it. We've got frog, balut / hot vịt lông. Try it. I know that there's a stigma against frog. I know that it's really weird in the US, and there are things that we have, these weird idiosyncrasies that the rest of the world doesn't really see. But this is a must try. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like chicken, if you like fish, you're going to like this animal. Absolutely wonderful. They grow everywhere. Definitely need to try this. This one I can understand. It's a little bit more iffy. I like it now, and I especially like the variations of it through Southeast Asia. It's really, really tasty. There you have it. That is it for tonight. If you have not had a chance to get to my blog yet, it's www.jimi.eats.world.com. I'm James Jalokia, and this is Jimmy Eats World.